you for joining us on this call. We'll get going in just about 30 seconds or so here. I got some really exciting stuff here. Really awesome. Not only will you learn some awesome ways of basically generating traffic, leads, sales, and exposure, but you'll also see a cool way to basically essentially automate almost that entire process right there. So lots and lots of stuff that you can learn here on this call, and I'm really excited to have you all here. Now, if this is one of your first time one of these kinds of calls, this is indeed live, and there is basically a comment box where if you basically want to type in any questions or anything you have, we do have two additional people on this call to help answer your questions. So as I'm talking, they'll be there writing back, and towards the very end of this call, there will be plenty of time for basically Q&A where I'll try to basically answer as many of the questions as I can as well. So I'm actually joined by my friend and business partner, Sean Casey. So he'll also be here as well. So occasionally if you hear like another guy's voice, that would be Sean's. So if he sees you with like lots and lots of the same questions and whatnot, he'll chime in, or if he has like a random point that he wants to mention, he will do that as well. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. All right, guys, again, my name is Brian Kaz, and I want to thank you for joining us on this call. This is all about how to start from scratch to get leads, get traffic, and get paid. So some really exciting stuff, so pay close attention here. So during my presentation, okay, you'll learn every single step you need to go from no traffic, leads, or sales to lots of traffic, leads, and sales for any product or service that you have. And even if you don't have anything that you can sell now, I'll even reveal to you easy businesses that you can start from scratch following these simple methods. But first, I want to talk a little bit about myself in case you don't know who I am. Once again, my name is Brian Kaz, and unlike a lot of people, I never really had a job ever. In fact, the closest thing I had to a job was very, very part-time while I was in college. It was kind of, part pay, part college. I would, through the college, I would go down to essentially a prison, and I'd basically sit down and basically interview random inmates. I'd run tests on them as part of a lab on psychopathy. And, that was actually, all fun for a while. In fact, that's originally where I first met my partner, Sean. Joking there, obviously. It wasn't something that I wanted to do, full-time for the rest of my life or anything like that. It was all fun for, a couple months there. But, I really wanted to work for myself. And at the time, I was just playing around online. Now, this is many, many, many years back. I was just playing around online, trying to be an affiliate, trying to sell, a couple ebooks, doing all sorts of stuff. And, I was doing okay. My goal was to make, maybe a couple to a few $100 a month just to have some spending cash. And, that's about where I was at. I was actually doing a pretty good job of achieving that goal. And then one day I sat back and I realized I was basically doing what everyone else was. I was building these websites and stuff and waiting for the traffic, leads, and exposure to come my way. And while it worked out a little bit, I thought, there has to be a better way. Why can't I go out and find the leads out there, find the find all the traffic, and proactively, make myself money? So I spent a little over a day's time. I just sat down and I just worked through it proactively, trying to find leads, traffic, and all that. And in a little over, a day's time of work, I checked my stats a few days later, and I saw that I made just shy of $1,500. Now today, that doesn't really sound like a lot of money to me. It was absolutely huge. Keep in mind, most of my friends in college were lucky if they made $1.5 grand a month. So I made that in a day. And it was really a wake-up call to me that, man, I need to treat this as an actual business. So I went and I applied that same method to all the other niches that I was in. And by the time I was done with college, there was no need for me to go on and get a PhD or a 9-to-5 job or anything like that, because I was already making more than I would on any of those. And since then, I've grown even more and have applied that method to all sorts of other niches out there. And I also started a software firm. And with the software firm, I thought, hey, of all those methods I used to do by hand, I wonder if there's a way where I could basically automate, the vast majority of all that stuff to turn, weeks worth of work into maybe minutes worth of work. And I did an awesome job, at that. I've done multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses, and you'll hear a little bit about the methods that I did on this call, as well as you'll see one of the automation tools that I talked about here in action. So some really exciting stuff there. So that's a bit about me. So why should you listen to me? Again, I've done multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses throughout all these years. Here's just a couple screenshots of some affiliate accounts. Here's three ones right here. On the top, there's one for 75 grand. On the top right is one for over 88 grand. The one below that is close to 18 grand. It's actually a lot more than that now, but you can see that right there, and that's in affiliate commissions that we have earned. Here's another affiliate account with over 20K earned just as an affiliate. Here's just a small with over 2,000 units sold and over 200,000 clicks. Here's some ClickBank shots we have. Where here's one where a newer business that we just started at the time did over $500,000 in sales that we actually, or $500,000 in profit, I should say, that we actually received. And if you know ClickBank, they automatically deduct what you pay affiliates and refunds and all that. So the over $500,000 that we received means that we did well over $1 million in sales, and even the very next year, over 150K net right there as well. And there's a smaller launch that we did on the bottom where we did over 277,000, which means it's well over $500,000 in sales there. And even on complete autopilot, doing nothing, did 40 grand. A really awesome one. This is just from one product of mine, A partner and I physically processed over $2.9 million in sales in 8 months' time. Now, a lot of guys, when they say sales, they basically do what I call projected sales or estimated sales and all that. No, this isn't anything like this. This is actual sales that we physically processed. So it's not like if someone's paying $100 a month, it's not like we assume they stay a member for 50 years. This is money that we physically processed, over $2.9 million in sales processed in 8 months' time, just on one product. Here's essentially an article about a bit more than a year back, where it talked about how I had a brand new business that went from 0 to over $1.2 million plus for a brand new business, and under a different one than the last screenshot that you just saw. And right now it's actually a lot more than that, but again, going from essentially 0 to over $1.2 million brand new in under 8 months' time. And more importantly than the stuff that I've done, here's just one example of how powerful the information I'm about to share with you is. Here's a completely unsolicited email that a partner and I got, several months back. I'll just read this to you. It says, "Both of you, just wanted to drop you a note to tell you that I just signed my first $1 million deal from a single client. It would not have been possible without applying what you taught me about lead generation. Best, Robert Smith." That's right. That's a $1 million deal from one lead following our lead generation techniques I'm about to share with you right here on this call. So in my 8 years of running an online businesses, it really comes down to 4 things. One, you need to have a good offer. If you don't have a good offer, it doesn't really matter how much traffic or sales or any of that you get. Now, if you don't have a good offer, that's okay. I'll teach you how to start one from scratch. 2, you need to have traffic. If you have the best offer out there but no one sees it, guess what? You'll still get no sales. You also need leads. Again, a lead is just one click away from becoming your next client. So you need to turn that traffic into leads. And 4, you need exposure. Okay, you need to be exposed everywhere where your potential prospect might be searching for you or your competitors. And I'll cover how to dominate at each and every single one of those. But first, I want to talk about how to make sure you have a good offer with a high demand. How many of you have ever thought you had a good product? I want you to type out how many of you have ever thought you had a good product idea. All right, I see lots of you saying yes. I see some saying you have several awesome ideas. All right, so it looks like the vast majority of you typing in seem to say at one point or another, or right now, you've had at least a good product idea. So now I want to ask you another question. How many of you have actually gone on to make that product idea come to life and made a lot of sales off of your cool product idea? So I want you to answer that in the chat right now. All right. I see a lot of guys saying stuff like, not yet. Hopefully I will one day. Unfortunately not. There's a lot less people that have, made money off of what they thought was a cool product idea. And, it could be that you're suffering from one of the many problems and setbacks I'm about to share with you right here, but not to worry, because again, I will show you on this call how you can get around all that. So the fact is, not all cool product ideas are marketable or in demand. It's a sad fact of life. For instance, who here on this call has ever heard of this device right here? It's a bread slicer knife that actually toasts the bread while you slice it. I actually hear that was a top seller among Jedis. Actually, I'm not even sure if this is real. I believe it actually is, but I don't know anyone that has ever got that. And as cool as this product might be, I mean, everyone on this call might look at this. Wow, Jedi knife that slices and toasts bread at the same time. The problem is, there's not really a demand for it, even though it's a cool idea. I mean, everyone on this call is probably like, wow, that's a pretty awesome idea. It doesn't really translate to being able to make a lot of dough off of it. I also want to ask you another question. Who here has ever heard of Kane Kramer? All right, so in the little chat box, if you've heard of him, and don't Google him right now because that would be cheating. If you've heard of him right now, just say yes or no. So looks like tons of no's. There's one yes. Looks like Julie says yes. Everyone else is saying no. Terry says vaguely. Veronica says yes. The rest of you, there's dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of no's. So it looks like the vast majority are saying no. So another here has heard of the iPod. All right. Looks like everyone's saying yes, except one said no, but I believe they were joking. So everyone, for the most part, are saying yes, they've heard of an iPod. Well, guess what? Who do you think invented the original iPod? It wasn't Apple, okay? It was this guy right here, Kane Kramer. He actually invented what would be the original, I guess, like MP3 player, or essentially iPod. Now, he had an awesome idea, right? I mean, crap. Everyone I know at one point had an iPod or an iPhone or some kind of device comparable to that, and obviously Apple made a lot of money off that. I don't know the exact amounts of money that they made off it, but I'm sure it's probably in the billions of dollars. I mean, it wasn't their idea. This guy right here actually had the idea. I believe it was in the 70s or very, very early 80s. And after patent and all that expired, Apple essentially swooped in and made basically the iPod, and there you have that. So just because you have an awesome idea, doesn't mean that it can equate to lots and lots of money. So just because you like your product or you think your product is great, it doesn't mean that you'll be able to easily sell it. So how do you test to see if your idea has any hope? So here's 3 ways to test your product. This is way number 1. This is what I call the hard way. And unfortunately, it's also what most people do. So with that, you create an entire product, whether you pay tons and tons of money or spend tons and tons of time. Then you register a business. Then you set up and you create a sales funnel. Then you optimize your site. Then you pay for advertising, so on and so forth. Then at the end of that, you hope that it sells. So after all that work, you hope that your idea sells. Unfortunately, a lot of times it won't. So way 2 is the easier way that costs just a little money. So first you create just a landing page or an opt-in page. Then you pay for some pay-per-click ads. Then you see if you get any leads and if they show any interest at all. Then if you get leads, only then go on and spend time doing the rest of the step in way 1. If you don't get leads, there just might not be a market for it. If no one is willing to give you their email address to get information on what you think is an awesome product, then they're probably not about to give you money for that. So if they won't even give you an email, they certainly won't give you money there. And you can quickly know with only spending a minimal amount of money if there's basically a market for that product or idea of yours. So way 3, which is the easiest and free way, first, you want to make a simple ad. This can have a nice looking title, picture, and description of your offer. Then you can post it on a free classified site like Gumtree, Craigslist, and so forth in the appropriate category. And then you see if you get any interest at all. And what I mean by this is, people emailing you leads or sales. So if someone even emails you for more information, that means they're interested in it, and there's probably potential there. If yes, you probably have a great offer and can spend time on building it up and selling it elsewhere too. So test it first this way, see if there's any interest. Even if you get no sales, it doesn't matter. You're just seeing if there's any interest at all. Now, this is an example of what a simple ad can look like. This is one that actually a friend of ours did just to show an example right here. And first, you just have a simple title, like in this case, if you were thinking of, hey, it might be cool to sell, used electric pianos online, first test to see if there's an actual market. So you can have a simple title like electric piano for sale, and then a short description of it, like, hey, this Cassiopeia has, lots of options, great sound, yada, yada, yada. And then at the very bottom, you either give the price there, and then you give a way to basically contact you, whether it be an email, phone, or anything you want there. And that's that. Again, a simple graphical ad like this right here, where you see a picture of what's for sale, you see a simple title, a simple description, and a way for them to contact you. And then you see if anyone contacts you to see if there's an interest. So next up, after you determine the product or service that you have, next up is obviously getting traffic and leads to your new offer. So a famous philosopher once said, Dolium volvitur adversus solum ne liquidur. And if any of you know Latin on this call, you clearly know that that translates to, if you have a website without traffic, you are pretty much screwed. So even thousands of years back, they knew that, without a website, you're basically screwed. Or, without traffic, I should say, you're basically screwed, even if you have the nicest looking site out there. So all jokes aside, you really want to view the internet in a different way. You want to view the net as one giant lead generator. I know lots of you on this call might view it as, a way to basically catch up with friends on Facebook, a way to watch funny YouTube clips, fine and dandy. At the end of the day, if you want to make money off it, you have to view the net as one giant lead generator, because there's people out there telling you exactly what they want, exactly what they're interested in, and willing to pay for that. And next up, I want to talk about the biggest myth about traffic. So if you've ever seen, a commercial for like GoDaddy or any of the other web hosts out there, they basically make it seem like, hey, business sucks now. You throw up a website and magically overnight you're making lots and lots and lots of sales. Well, that's not the case. You can't just throw up a website and hope that you'll make lots and lots and lots of sales. Just like you can't throw up an offer on creepy truck of free candy and say, hey, I have a great offer, so I'm gonna mark this up on creepy truck and expect that I'll get lots and lots of business. Like in this case, I'm not sure if I get free candy, I would get mugged or raped or what there, but obviously not a very appealing offer that people would just flock to. Just like you can't just build a site and hope that guys will magically flock to it even if you have a great offer. So here's a question I want you to type your answer to. If you were to open up a bakery, where would be the perfect place to open business? So the question again is, if you were to open up a bakery, where would be the perfect place to open your business? So let's see what you say. So Brent says here by a coffee shop. Antonio says in Los Angeles. Someone says in North Korea. Someone says at home and online. Someone says where there's starving people. Someone says where there's lots of traffic. Someone says by a shopping district. Someone says next to Weight Watchers. Someone says by hungry people. David says, in a large street. Clay says next to a police station, on Main Road, close to a large office, High Street. All right, lots and lots and lots of guesses here, and I will tell you the best place right here. So the best place to open up a bakery would be next to this place here, next to Weight Watchers. Now, all jokes aside, I'm not sure which came first. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if they're actually owned by the same guy. But all jokes aside, guys, it's all about location, location, location. You need to go where the hungry market already is at. Okay? If there's no one in the market, very tough time selling anything. Whereas if there's a market where there's lots of hungry buyers, that's a market that you want to be in, that you want to find them and have your offer in front of them. And it's more than just traffic. You want targeted traffic. And there are resources on the internet right now where people are ready to buy your products right now with their credit cards in hand. They're telling you exactly what they want, and you simply have to make them the offer for exactly what they're telling you that they want. So here's 4 steps to get instant traffic. Step 1, search for a relevant keyword related to your market that you know that gets a ton of searches. Step 2, of those sites, find sites on page 1 of Google, Yahoo, and Bing that are forums, blogs, Q&A sites, or basically other places where you can leave a... Step 3 is to leave valuable and relevant posts, replies, and recommendations. Now, there is an art to this. You want to write like you're writing to a friend or a family member. Step 4 is to rinse and repeat. If you do this correctly and consistently, you should start to see some traffic flowing in. So, okay, so again, you're going out there and you're finding the places, where you can post and leave some kind of a comment or reply on, and you're siphoning traffic from there to you. And here's a real-world example. So I also own mobileautoresponder.com, and as you can see here, I actually rank for a variety of related terms, but there's certainly tons of other, rankings that I don't own. Like right here, the number 5 place down is basically a forum thread on a popular internet marketing forum where someone's asking, hey, what's the best mobile autoresponder out there? And there's people saying all sorts of stuff on that thread. So I have a worker of mine just did a quick reply there saying, hey, my name's Nick, and I'm one of the makers of, mobileautoresponder.com. As for your questions, we currently can do this, this, and that, and we're currently doing this, and blah, blah, blah. And if you have any other questions, feel free to ask me. So he's not being spammy. He's not pretending to be a person he's not. He's being very blunt, saying, hey, I'm one of the workers here. To answer your question, we do this, this, and that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. So what that does, it does a few things. One, it looks really, really cool because to the average Joe, they're like, hey, here's a time to me, so they're far more likely to buy. But two, he's leaving a link that goes from that site to our site. And three, we're basically gaining another spot on page 1 of Google where people will constantly run into our name, and they'll get more exposure and we'll get more traffic because of that. And this is, this reply maybe took like a minute to do here. And what's really neat is that we've actually tracked about 2/3 of the sales that we've gotten on the mobile autoresponder have been tracked from doing campaigns like this, simply going out there and talking on these places right here. So anyone on this call can do exactly what you see right here. So here's a sneaky yet powerful twist to this method. This is where you can siphon traffic from your competitors, whether it's to your own offer or an affiliate offer. You can do this exact same process, but for keywords and people looking for alternative or similar products. For instance, you could search for keywords like like the competitor's name followed by alternative, or the competitor's name followed by review, and you can look up all the sites that are ranked that you can leave a post, comment, or reply on, and you can try to basically gear them towards you. So if someone is searching for the keyword best alternative to one-on-one hosting, and there are sites that rank for that which you can post on, if you had your own host or one that you were an affiliate for, you could give reasons why they might want to check you out instead. And if you do this with enough keywords, you can really start to snatch up a lot of buyer traffic, because all this traffic is of guys that are clearly about to buy whatever it is that they're looking to buy in that from there to you. And again, you want to do it in basically an ethical way. You don't want to be sneaky or pretend that you're not the actual owner. You want to be upfront, and it can work insanely well. So here are some additional ways to get free traffic. One is through forum marketing. This is where you post in related forums, answer questions, leave non-spammy links, and so forth. Next is on classified ads. You can post ads on classified sites like Gumtree, Craigslist, Kijiji, and eBay classifieds, so on and so forth. And next is through blog commenting. This is where you post on blogs that already rank, leave helpful advice, and leave non-spammy links. The key, again, is to leave non-spammy posts and links there. So next up is you want to get exposure. You want to dominate with publicity for your business. You need to be there when your clients and customers are ready to find you. Everywhere where your potential client looks, you want them to see your product. Every keyword that they search for, you want them to constantly run into stuff about you, whether it's your own site that ranks there, whether it's forums that are basically talking about stuff and they happen across your name or your product name or your link, whether it's another blog that they find and there's a comment on it that mentions your site. Everywhere where they look, you want them to be exposed to your product. If they see your product or name once or twice, yeah, they might check you out. Yeah, they might buy, but if they see it over and over and over and over again, at the very least, they'll check out your site and most likely be a lot more likely to buy too. So now that you have a few tricks up your sleeve to get traffic, leads, and exposure, what if you don't have any product or any offer yet? What do you do? There are ways to test out your ideas online for free. But here are a couple ways that any of you can do literally today and be making money tomorrow. So here's some ways to profit now. First up is one I call middleman marketing. This is where you match up buyers and sellers for massive profits. You can have buyers pay you and you outsource for less or take a cut from the seller. Web services are awesome and extremely profitable here. SEO, social media, pay-per-click management, blog creation and management are all great services. You can even outsource many of the services on Fiverr.com, that's Fiverr.com, for $5. You can turn around and find buyers for 100, 500, or more, because they don't know that the stuff exists there. And let me ask you guys a question, just to really hit home with this. If you were, let's say, a corporation, okay, and you were looking to have, a fairly basic website made, if you went to, let's say, an offline website firm and asked them to build you a website, how much do you think they would quote you to build even like a basic website? Let's see what your guesses are here. So if you were to go to an offline website firm, what do you think they'd quote you to have a website built? So let's see what your guesses are here as to how much they might quote you. All right, so here's a guess of 20,000, 3,000, 2,500, 5,000, 10,000, 30,000. A couple more at a few thousand. All right, six grand. Lots of guesses. It looks like on the low end, there's guys are saying, hey, like, $1.5 grand. On the high end, there's guys saying, tens and tens of thousands of dollars. Well, if you were to go to an offline website firm, typically they'd probably quote you somewhere in the range of, $15,000 to $25,000, if not more. In some cases, a lot more. In fact, I actually know a guy who works for essentially like a tech firm, and they had a client that paid them about $100,000 to build a fairly basic website. Now, the funny part was this website actually took this place about a day and a half to build. Okay? Now, they purposely waited weeks to actually deliver the actual product, a day and a half of work there. Now, I'm not saying that every client is that dumb or willing to spend that much, but certainly there's lots of guys that think a website might cost 10, 20, 30 grand. And now when they go online, they know that they can probably find a little cheaper of a price. Maybe instead of 25 grand, they think they can find one for 10 grand. Maybe instead of 10 grand, they think they can find one for 5 grand. And truth be told, you can find guys out there willing to make you a complete website for as little as $100 to $200, even local guys that can whip this stuff out in like a half day to a day's time, that for a couple $100 would actually consider that very good money. So you can have those guys, so if you had an offer where you sold a site for $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000 or $5,000, there's lots of guys that might think for cheap for $100 to $200. Okay, everyone walks away happy. The buyer walks away happy because they got exactly what they asked for and probably spent a lot less than what they thought they would have to. The service provider walks away happy because you paid them exactly what they asked for, and they don't have to market themselves because they don't know how. And you walk away very, very happy because you just made thousands of dollars without really doing any real work there. You can then, again, search freelance sites like Elance, Odesk, vWorker, and so forth for people looking to accept bids on web services that you can outsource for $5 in some cases. You can then filter through all the results for the best of the best potential buyers and post bids, leaving you with a handsome profit. So in what a service, like let's say that you can have a guy that can build you a website for $100. All you have to do is find guys willing to pay more than $100 for a website. So, if you want to say, hey, I don't want to accept, less than $500, you can go to all these sites right here, and you can bid on all the projects where you make $500 or more, or 1,000 more, or 3,000 or more, completely up to you, and just bid all day long. And when you get that, those guys that accept your bid there, that's a massive amount of profit for you. And you can explode this method into a ton of money by also taking advantage of promoting your new offer through all the traffic and lead techniques that you just learned. Okay, so through all the lead gen and traffic tricks that you just learned, you can go out there and promote your new offer all those ways as well, and explode that and make even power of this. When you have a system down, again, where hey, your cost is $5 to make a logo, you can charge 100 or more and just find all the people out there looking to pay for a logo and make them an offer, make them, your quote, make them a bid. And if you do this all day long, again, you will get guys accepting your bid, and just 1 or 2 sales there can be a lot of dough. So here's some more ways to get an instant pay raise with traffic. One, you can get traffic to your own site. Obviously, the more traffic you have, the more likely you are to make sales. You can also get traffic as an affiliate. So the more traffic you have to your affiliate link, the more likely you are to make that sale. You can also become a traffic broker. Okay, this is where guys pay you to get traffic for them. You can also get cash with leads. You can generate leads for you can generate leads to build your own list. After all, there's an old saying, the money is in the list, and the larger your list, obviously, the more likely it is that you can make money off that, or a lot of dough off that. You can also generate leads for clients, where clients pay you to generate leads for them. You can also generate leads to be a middleman, like we just said, where you match buyers and sellers. And again, this works insanely well with like web services, but you can also do this with physical products as well. In fact, we had one client I know of that did 5 figures just linking up physical, buyers and sellers right off the bat within hours of doing this right here. You can also make incredible profits with exposure. You can build your own brand. You can dominate your market so people see you all over the place. You can become and do this for other people. So basically, you can become a badass traffic leads and exposure master like our client right here. But really, at the end of the day, it comes down to, you want the unfair advantage. So all the stuff here you can do by hand. It can just take a lot of time. But if you really want to do well at business, you need the unfair advantage. And typically I find that usually comes down to software. Okay, if you can do something in minutes that your competition has to take months to do, you win. If there's a task that takes them even 10 hours that you can do in a minute, you win. And there's a lot of tasks here where it might take them months to do what you can do in minutes. And that's really where the unfair advantage comes into play. And I want to introduce to you the Orion software. And it really, guys, is some really, really amazing stuff. And I want to actually not just share with you exactly what all this is. I want to actually show you guys a live demonstration of exactly what you can do, with this tool in your arsenal here. So I'm going to pause the screen for a second here, just so I can switch screens here. Just hang on 1 second here as I switch. Alrighty. Guys, this is, again, insanely powerful stuff right here. I'll pull this up in just a second here. Just pulling up All right. All right, so right here, so right now you should see my screen, and you should see the Orion software. So you should see a a glowing screen with a bunch of buttons going in a circle there. So really, Orion is actually several tools in one. There's 8 main components to it, which are right here. And you can click on any of those, and it will actually open up the individual tool inside of it. And basically does everything you could possibly want to get traffic, leads, sales, and exposure online. So it's a master suite of tools at your hands right here. And what I'll do is because we could spend hours just showing off everything this can do. I'll do a couple searches and demos, and then I'll show off a handful of screenshots for some of the other tools inside here, and then I'll also again give a brief overview of all that stuff as well. So a few of the things that Orion can do is let's start with the Get Leads button. So this is a way where we can get obviously leads. So we'll click that, and then we have a couple choices here. We can get leads of buyers, or leads of sellers, or social leads. So in this case, I'll say I want to do leads of buyers. So I'll click buyers right here. We can get leads of web services or physical products, and I'll do web services in this case. And then I can pick among several categories that we feel have lots and lots of buyers, like web design, SEO, so on and so forth. If yours is not there, you simply click the custom button, and you can type in any keyword or niche that you want down here, and it will find buyers of that. Then you simply click search, and it will start to pull up lots and lots and lots of leads there. You see here the lead count is at the top there, and this will actually search several lead source sites all at once from randomly across the globe all at once too. And usually this takes about a half minute or so to do a full search there. It's almost done here, and it stopped at 335 leads. And again, we can scroll through and we see all those cool leads right there. So again, lots and lots and lots of leads. And we can click any of these leads that we want and get more info on it. Like we click here. Here's someone right here that needs a website. Their total budget is $5,000 right there. So that's a 5K budget right there. Here's someone that wants a logo made. And they're looking to pay $100 or more. Again, you can outsource this on Fiverr for $5. In fact, you can do like 2 for $5. Here's one. Doesn't say the price because again, not all of them will tell you the price, but they're looking to have a website made for their window treatment website. Here's a cool one. Here's a guy that wants a logo made, and they're willing to pay up to $750. So you could say, hey, I'll make you 5 different ones. Everyone else will make you one. I'll make you 5 here, and I'll only charge you $500. So again, you can go to Fiverr, and for $5, you can get 2 logos made for $5. So you spend 10 or 15 bucks and get a bunch of them that you can show off, right there. That's hundreds and hundreds of dollars pure profit right there. Here's one. Looking for someone that it looks like they need a new WordPress template, and they're looking to spend $200. Again, you can go on Fiverr, and guys can do that very, very easily. Here's someone that looks like they need some ongoing work for more than $1,000 a month, and they're looking for 10 hours, of your work a week there. So again, that's over $100 an hour, right there. They say right here, $12.50 a month for 10 hours. So again, you can be a middleman in that deal and make tons and tons of dough right there. Here's someone that wants to have basically a website redesigned, a blog site for $300. Again, you can go on Fiverr and get that done for $5 right there. So again, lots and lots of guys right here. Again, and here's a guy that wants a WordPress theme. So again, just tons and tons of guys, right there. And again, if there's a lead you don't like, who cares? Skip it. There's just tons of them here. And what's really neat here, all you do is you check off any of these leads that you want, and you can instantly click the reply button and write directly to them. Now, obviously, you want to pinpoint to make it the most relevant possible. You can also basically integrate almost any email address you want, including a free one like Gmail. And you can also write any message you want. You can include links, anything you want there. You can also have any subject line you want, or you can leave that blank and we'll automatically have the buyer's question in there, so you see you're clearly writing back. We also have some proprietary technology built in that ensures that more of these emails go to the actual inboxes like they should. If you were to email these guys by hand, if you were to email, let's say, 50 by hand, you'd be lucky if most of them went to the actual inbox. Well, using our proprietary technology, you can rest assured that you have a much higher chance of getting to the actual inbox where they actually get read. We also have a cool feature where you can spin messages where every message you send can appear completely unique as well. So very, very cool stuff right there. And of course, if you want, you can also save these and export them if you want to come back to them later. It will also save new leads, old leads, and leads that you reply to. So the new leads will be in green, old leads will be in red, leads that you reply to will be in black. So you can easily save and track all that as well. And guess what? If you go through all these leads and you say, hey, I want more leads, well, guess what? All you have to do is just click on Get More Leads, and it will get, again, a fresh set of new leads for you at any given time. And you can keep on clicking on Get More Leads and continuously get more and more and more leads. So in this case, we clicked on Get More Leads, it will search, again, several random lead source sites from random places across the globe, and in this case we got 230 extra leads. If we want more, we just click Get More Leads, and we'll have more that will show up right there. Again, very, very powerful stuff right there. And again, you just check off any of those leads that you want. You can instantly reply to them right there. And again, guys, this is just insanely powerful stuff right here where, again, if you want to, again, you don't have to search for web services. We've had guys that have used this for like being a middleman for basically antique buyers and sellers. It's just the opportunities are nearly limitless here. And you just, again, right here. And what's cool here is that if you want to find sellers that you want to do like a JV deal with, you can. You simply click on seller, and you can find guys that are selling stuff that you can either do like a JV deal with, or you can outsource to them. Social is another search. It takes a little bit longer, like instead of a half a minute, it might take several minutes, but it will actually search a social site to find people talking on social media about stuff right now. So if you want to find all the guys that are complaining about a speeding ticket right now, you can do that. And on the social search, it will only find leads that are a couple days old or newer. So some might be seconds old at tops, some might be, only at tops, possibly, like a day or two old on, the social search. On the main one, on the non-social, some leads might be seconds old, some might be up to, a couple to a few weeks old, depending on the niche right there, because again, as new leads come in, the old leads go out. So you won't get, really old leads on either of these. But with social search, you might find thousands of people every day complaining about basically a speeding ticket that you can reply to and say, hey, I saw that you just got a ticket that sucks. Here's a link to some free tips on how to get out of one. And on your blog post, you can have basically an affiliate link to a product on how to get out of a speeding ticket. And again, so the opportunities are nearly endless right there. You can also find guys that maybe they just got engaged, and if you're a wedding planner or you're an affiliate for wedding stuff, boom, huge opportunity right there. And again, guys, that's just the tip of the iceberg right there. We also have a very, very cool tool that's called Get Traffic. Okay, so we click that, and what this does right here is you basically type in any keyword that you want, like let's say weight loss. So let's say you're in the weight loss niche, and then we can basically generate additional keywords. So let's say in this case we want 25 additional keywords. We just click Generate More Keywords, and there we have it. We have basically 25 additional keywords. If we want more, we can basically do 50 or anything we want there. If we want to add more, we can add more in right there. Like let's say we want to add in, I don't know, let's say LA weight loss. We can do that. We can add in the keyword right there. We can also pick how many pages of Google, Yahoo, and Bing we want to search. In this case, it's just page 1. I could say, hey, search page 1, 2, and 3, and pull up all the places out there. What this does, it goes through page 1, 2, and 3 of Google, Yahoo, and Bing, finds all the pages that rank for any of these words right here, and then it only lists the ones that we can leave a post, comment, or reply on. So this is a longer search that might take several minutes or more. So I'll just pause the screen for a second as I pull up a prior search that I actually did, just to save some time so you can see what that looks like, just so we're not here all day. And here's a search that I did just right prior to this call, probably like maybe 2 or 3 hours ago. And this is the one for, again, the weight loss search right here. And what's cool is it lists all these sites that we can leave a post, comment, or reply on page 1, 2, or 3 of Google, Yahoo, and Bing. And what it does, it will list, on what search engine it's from. It will list the URL, like the exact one that ranks, and it will list the keyword that it ranks for, and it will list the rank. So 1 means it's ranked number 1 on page 1, 10 is, number 10 on page 1, 13 would be, the top of page 2, and then it lists the amount of traffic that it gets. So in this case, this gets about just over 3,500 searches a month, whereas this one down here, there's some that get like, tens of thousands. Let's see, there's usually a handful of very big ones in there. Let's see. Oh, here's 2 at 111. Wait, no. Excuse me. 11.1 million searches. So those some huge ones right there. That again, all these sites are ones that you can leave a post, comment, or reply on. It will also leave a score, and the score is the higher the score, the more likely it is worth your time to leave a post, comment, or reply on. And it's basically a combination of the amount of traffic that the keyword gets, as well as exactly where that site ranks. So all you have to do is click on any of these that you like, and then it'll actually take you straight to that site. So it'll actually basically open that site up in a browser, and you can have a message that you can quickly copy and paste on those. So you can actually have like a pre-written message down here, in this box right here, for every campaign or search that you do. Again, you can save these and you can reload that search, because again, rankings can change. So if you do the search like once a week or once a month or so, you'll see some new sites that will pop up, so you can quickly leave a post on them. Now I'm not saying you have to leave a post on every single site here. That would take a very, very, very long time. But just pick, a handful a week to start with. Take a few minutes of your time, and you can see a drastic increase in traffic, and get an additional benefit of your own rankings. Because you have more links basically going to you. But more importantly, lots of traffic and exposure for your product or service. And down here, we see the total estimated monthly traffic based upon all the places that you can post on right here. In this case, it is over 90 million searches a month you can post it for free. Now, if you were paying for Google AdWords to get exposure to 90 million searches a month, even with, like, let's say, 0.1% click-through rate, for over 90 million searches a month, you'd be paying probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in pay-per-click costs to get the kind of exposure that you can get by posting on these places for free. So if you have a huge, huge budget, great. You can do it, the very expensive way. If not, you can get tons and tons of exposure and traffic for free right here. Again, very, very powerful stuff right here. So what I'll do again, I'll just pause that as I go on to another tool. This is actually a really neat one right here. So let's see here. So, and you'll see another one we have is called Siphon Competition. So I'll actually click it right there. And what you do is, this is a great, especially if you're like an affiliate, you can siphon traffic and sales from competitors to yours. So let's say that you're an affiliate of GetResponse. You type in the keyword there, in this case, GetResponse, and optionally you can type in their website. And then you type in the names of the competitors. So we'll do Aweber, iContact, Constant Contact, that's good for right now. Then we can type in the websites of the competitors, aweber.com, iContact.com, ConstantContact.com, and then click Generate Keywords. And it creates a whole bunch of basically competitor keywords like, reviews, get response versus Aweber, forum reviews, constant contact, tons and tons of keywords that you would want to see, if there's any sites that you can then post on. And now this search, again, might take up to several minutes or so. So I'll pause it, and I'll show you the results of a search I actually did to this call. So here's that. Just unpause my screen right here. So this is the search I did right prior for that same thing. So you see all the keywords here, like does iContact work? GetResponse.com versus iContact.com. It says where they rank on Google, Yahoo, or Bing. It says the URL that you can post on, the keyword it ranks for, and what it ranks. As you see here, just tons and tons and tons of places that you can leave a post, comment, or reply on that rank for all these terms. And what's cool here is a guy that's saying, GetResponse versus Aweber. You know that they're interested in buying one. Or a guy that says, does iContact work? Or, GetResponse opinions or GetResponse reviews. You know they're clearly looking to, buy. And if you can do a quick post there saying, oh, hey, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, for a full review, you can check out my site here, or hey, here's a great review on YouTube, and you can post, a YouTube clip there that can have your affiliate link on it. You can drive, a lot of traffic there, and not just, any traffic, quality buyer traffic for free, and make sales off that. So again, very, very powerful tool right here that you can take complete advantage of. And again, that's just yet another tool inside of Orion. And as you can see, there's a lot more here. In fact, what I'll do now, just to save some time, because again, this will take hours if we go through everything. I actually took a handful of screenshots of some of the other tools. So I'll just go through that in a second here. I'll just pause the screen as I pull up the screenshots. Just give me 1 second here. Alrighty. Alright, so right now are some screenshots of some of the additional tools inside of the Orion tool, and I'll just explain them one by one here. So right here, we have a tool called the Add Forge tool, and what this does, it allows you to easily, oops, didn't mean to have that, easily make graphical ads in like a minute or two, because again, basically graphical ads are much more likely to get more clicks, much more likely to look nicer, and much more likely to get posted. So what you can do on the right, you type in the text before the image, you can upload any graphic you want, and then you can add text after the image. And then you can pick any size you want or use the default. And as you type that in, it will automatically turn it into this nice ad. We'll have the proper sizes and all that right there for you. So you don't have to do anything other than fill in the right side right here. Then you can export that ad, and it will give you the code that you can paste on any of the classified sites that you want. And you can click this link down here where it says Top Sites, and it will automatically have a list of the top sites that accept this kind of code that you can easily paste in and advertise on these guys for free. So again, very, very powerful stuff right here to get free exposure and a way to advertise your product or service for free right there. Another one we have inside of Orion, the Orion tool. With this one, you basically type in any keyword you want. Like in this case, I typed in the keyword iPad on the left and the right side. And what it does, it will search eBay on the left side, and it will see what those keywords are currently selling for. Like right here, we see how many bids there are, what's the max bid, what the time left is, so you can get an idea of what they're selling for. Then on the right side, we'll search a classified ad site in the same category and tell you what they're currently what buyers are currently willing to pay for that same thing. And you can also search buyers and sellers on the right side too, so you can get an idea if one side sells for more than the other side. For instance, about a year ago, I noticed that if you're looking for a medieval suit of armor, on the left were several selling for $1,000 to $3,000 on the low end, up to like $5,000 to tens of thousands, all on the left side. On the right side, there were people trying to get rid of theirs for like $100 to $300, where the lowest and cheapest one on the left side would be like $1,000 plus. On the right side, they were selling dirt cheap. So it's a good like market research tool where you can say, hey, this is an awesome market, or hey, this is selling for dirt cheap here, but really expensive on the left side. You can buy those up and sell them and make a profit there. Another tool we have, this is incredibly powerful, is the excavator tool. And this one is insanely powerful. What it does is the left side is basically a web browser. You can go to any site you want, okay? So in this case, I went to a popular forum, and then you highlight any space of it you want, and it just shows up in red right there. So it's like, so you drag and pull, highlight any link within inside that red area, and it will search all those links for leads. In this case, I highlighted a bunch of threads, and it will find the leads on the right side. Now, I actually stopped this search ahead of time. You might find hundreds or thousands of leads here, but this search, depending on how large, can take like a half hour or more right there. Especially if there's thousands or millions of leads right there. And what it does, it will highlight all the leads it finds in yellow, and it will give you the text around them, so you can clearly see the context in which the email address was given to you. Another example of this is, let's say you're on a forum where it's people that are selling services. You can highlight that entire thread and find all the leads on there that are looking to buy or sell that right now. You could also go to, let's say, a directory of, let's say, all the car dealerships, and you can highlight basically the entire directory. It might find tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of leads. You can see the context in which the lead was clearly given. So you're using this as a research tool. And you don't just want to use this as a spamming tool. You want to use it as a research tool. And you can also filter those leads. So on the top where it says filter for, you can type in any keyword you want, and it will only then show the leads that are in close proximity to the keyword that you said. So if you want to look for like the CFOs of car dealerships, you could type in CFO. It will only show you the leads that are in close proximity to the word CFO. So for instance, if you were, let's say, a financial advisor that dealt with CFOs of car dealerships, you could find all those guys right there. Or if you highlight a forum thread on, you know, buyers and sellers and you want to target as a SEO, you could type in the keyword SEO there, and it would show only the leads that are mentioned in close proximity to SEO. Then you can check off any of those leads that you want and automatically export them to a CSV file that you can follow up with then as well. So very, very powerful tool that you can use to literally grab leads off of forums, directories, sites, anything you want right there. Insanely powerful, but you know, obviously you want to use this for good and not evil, because this is incredibly powerful right here. So you saw some of those. Here's a cool one too right here. This is one, it's called Middleman Accelerator. And this is very, very powerful. If you want to be a middleman and sell web services, not only can you use the Get Leads feature, which you saw, you can also use Middleman Accelerator. This feature alone could be like a full-time living or job right here. What it does, you type in a keyword like, let's say, SEO, and on the left side, it will show guys selling on Fiverr for that. Now, I actually canceled the search partway through. You'd find thousands of sellers for SEO. And then on the right side, you type in SEO, and it will search several freelance sites for people that are looking to pay to have SEO done. And you can see, what the max bids that they're accepting are right here. So in this case, these are all guys selling service for $5. For the same keyword on the right side, here's a guy right here that's accepting a bid for over $3,000. Here's one over $1,000, several over $1,000 actually. Here's one that's close to $3,000 right here, and you can click on any of those and instantly go to that and place a quick bid there, where you can have one message that you can copy and paste into each one. And like, let's say you want to do this for logo design. You can find all the guys on the left side that will make you a logo for $5, and then find all the guys on the right side that are looking to accept bids to have a logo done. And you can just bid all day long. I mean, if you want to do 100 bids, you can. And it's almost impossible not to get accepted, as long as you have a decent offer there. And again, we teach you how to have decent offers right there. But this feature alone, guys, I mean, whether you outsource it or whether you do this yourself, this is a great way to make dough. In fact, I know guys that their entire business is based around a model just like this here, just bidding all day long on these sites and having a decent offer right here that you can outsource for a fraction of the price. So that's again a very, very awesome one. The last one right here is what we call the Postmaster tool, and this looks simplistic, yet is insanely powerful. It uses some pretty cool artificial intelligence too. So this is one where you can basically post automatically on tons of forums all at once. So the first time you integrate a new forum only takes like a minute. So any forum that you want to do a post on, anyone at all, it takes about a minute to actually integrate that, and then it saves that. So let's say you have a list of like 20 forums that you want to do a post on. You can integrate all 20 of those. You can write one new post, and it can automatically show up on all 20 or 5 or 100 of those forums at once, and it will save your post right here, and it will show a history of posts that you've written right here, so you can easily check up and see the replies, so on and so forth. Again, very powerful tool. And here's how with that, when you integrate a new forum, you go to the forum, and it will automatically, when you click on like, new thread, it will automatically highlight what it thinks the title is, what it thinks, the body is, and what it thinks the submit button is. If it's wrong, you simply, move these, these boxes to where they should be, but 99% of the time it will be in the right place. Then you click Save, and it will automatically add in the forum right there, and you can automatically click New Post, check off the forums you want to post to, and it will automatically post to all those at once. So again, that's insanely powerful. So you can literally take one forum post and have it be posted to 100 forums. You can dominate your entire forum market at once. Again, guys, that's just insanely powerful right there. So again, that's just the iceberg of everything that you can do with the Orion software. So I'll just pause the screen for one more second here. And I'll show you one last cool thing here. And that is, all right, so one last thing is, most of these work insanely fast. There's a couple of the searches, that can take, like a minute to several minutes or so. And so let's say you get really, really bored and, you're waiting on a search. We have a button called the Relax button. And you can click that, and you can play video poker while you're basically waiting. So we'll just play a quick round. And yay, that's actually not bad right there. And I just won $10 of a money right there. Now, if we were smart, we'd have like an affiliate link to a casino, but obviously that's not the intention of that. But just another way where you can actually play a game while it's doing a search in the background and save time. So all good fun right there. So I'll just pause the screen as I go back to the PowerPoint slide. Hopefully you guys get an idea of really how powerful all this is right here. Because really, guys, it is insanely powerful stuff right here. So with Orion, you can become a TLE, traffic leads and exposure master. It's been years in development, preparation, and planning. No software system has ever given you this much opportunity to literally have millions of people be exposed to your product or service. And it's perfect whether you want to promote your own products, services, start one from scratch using the ready-made money makers. And it's completely automated to give you the unfair advantage. So, do you want to dominate page 1, 2, and 3 of Google, Yahoo, and Bing and get free traffic from them? Well, guess what? Orion's Get Traffic feature does that for you. Do you want to get tons of buyer leads looking to buy what you could be selling and email them with a touch of a button? Well, guess what? Orion's Get Leads does that for you. Do you want to ethically steal traffic from your competition and send them to your own site or affiliate offers? Orion's Siphon competition does that for you. Do you want to find buyers looking to pay 10 times to 100 times the price of outsourcers that you can also find in minutes? Orion's Middleman Accelerator does that for you. So eBay and classified sites, along with their buyers, or do market research on it, Orion's Auction Pro does that for you. Do you want to grab leads off of forums, directories, or any website that you want? Orion's Profit Excavator does that for you. Do you want to create nice-looking graphical ads to get traffic and sales from classified sites? Orion's AdForge does that for you. Do you want to get tons of traffic and clients from forums by posting to all of them in your niche on complete autopilot? Orion's Profit Postmaster does that for you. So, with Orion, it gets you exposure. You can be a stalker ethically. You can have your potential clients be exposed everywhere they look. You can promote your products and services in front of people. There's multiple income streams now possible. You can find out what problems they already have, and then you can solve them with Orion. You can find people on what they're looking for right now. There's several ways of getting paid. This works great for, internet marketers, for local and global businesses, for BizUp and network marketers, for writers, event planners, job recruiters, realtors, anyone who needs leads, traffic, and exposure. The opportunities are nearly endless. Now, Orion literally is brand new and 10 times more powerful than my prior lead generation tools, with tons of features inside of Orion that have never been seen anywhere else before. It literally does everything you need to get traffic, leads, and sales. But because you're literally among the first to see this, I want to show some prior testimonials of an earlier lead generation tool of mine that does a fraction of what Orion does and still gets amazing results. So here's one right here. More powerful than Google. This is a more powerful tool than top rankings in Google. Your software allows you to see inside the mind of your future clients because it allows you to spy in on what they're already looking for, your products and services. It's amazing how easily you can find leads. I just did a search for potential clients and found 83 people looking for exactly what I can offer them. This is David Gonzalez in Austin, Texas. Now, he found 83 people today. Tomorrow, he might find dozens and dozens and dozens more too. Here's one. With your lead system, I struck gold. After completing a course on social media marketing, I decided to search for prospects in need of social media. I scored 2 new clients. These 2 contracts alone paid for my investment in your lead software. This is Birgit Reichert. And what's cool here is the social media service that she sold was basically like Twitter about that at the time. She actually bought a course from another person on how to do Twitter and Facebook, and then she took what she learned there and turned it into a service and used our software to score new clients. And here's one. Thank you for helping me build my retirement fund. I generated 60 targeted leads in less than 5 minutes. In just 3 days, I made a profit of $3,677. Thanks to your software, I will be living in a warmer climate a little sooner than I had planned. This is Billy Graham in Durham, UK, where apparently it's pretty cold. Here's one, $50,000 in revenue off 1 lead. I found over 5,000 such leads with your software. The ongoing relationship I have with 1 client has generated over $50,000 in revenue so far. This is Kelly Conway in Kansas City. This is now he was a unique niche where there wasn't really a lot of leads that he could find on his own, but the the value of just 1 lead could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. And right here, he found over 5,000 such leads, and the ongoing relationship with just 1 has made over $50K so far. Here's one from New Zealand. Hi guys, just a quick note to tell you that your software is phenomenal. In less than 1 week, I had a deal in place to sell website leads to website provider from $500 per referral. I couldn't believe it, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Your support system and team are outstanding. You guys are the real deal, and put your money where your mouth is. Thanks again, Andrew Simic in New Zealand. And again, just because he's in a smaller nation doesn't mean he can't use global leads right here. Again, we thought on a large scale. Now, our software you can use to pinpoint leads on a local scale, but it's you can also at the same time use it to find global leads across tons of opportunity for traffic and such. Here's one. With the downturn of the economy, my market was really slowing down. With your software, I have been able to create a national network to help these struggling professionals help find work. To date, I've helped over 120 people find new jobs to replace ones that have been terminated, downsized, or looking to close. Not only have I created a good opportunity for my company, but I've increased cash flow for them and my own services. I wanted to say thanks for coming up with this program. Keep up the great work. Matt Lister in Fort Myers, Florida. And here's a very awesome one. I generated $12,000 in cash after using your lead program in the first 4 hours of using the software. This is Danielle Zarco. This is a cool one where this is actually 12K profit in 4 hours time of using the software, and all he did was hook up 2 buyers and sellers in his market that he did initially just as a hobby. What's cool here is initially he invested in the software not knowing exactly what he would do with it, but he saw the value in it, and he went home, immediately played around with it, found some leads, wrote us and said he wanted to contact just a handful of those leads just to see what could, happen, and he wanted to ask for some advice on what we think he should say. So I personally took some time to give him some advice there, and I didn't think much of it because he said he only wanted to write just a few leads just to get his feet wet. Well, a few days goes by, and he writes back really excited, saying that he made $12K cash profit in 4 hours' time of using the software. And when he initially invested in the software, he said he never even told his wife that he was trying to make money online on the side because she hated it when he went online. And then after he made the 12K, he broke down to her that, hey, I invested in their software, and I already made 12K cash profit, and she now encourages him to go online even more. So I found that to be a bit of a funny side note right there. So here's a brief overview of Orion. You get a complete license to use our proprietary software. You get exclusive private access site for members, which includes videos, tutorials, support, everything you need. You also get insider group coaching calls. You get the Jumpstart webinar training to 5,000 in 30 days with Orion. And this is where we have, videos and training that walks you through the best ways to get going from scratch, and it's what we feel is the best way to get to $5 grand in the first 30 days time. You also get the opportunity to sell Orion yourself. Now, obviously, you probably all know someone that can benefit from leads. So a tool like this can be worth a fortune to them. You can sell it, as your cut right there, but only if you're a member right here. So you can try Orion risk-free. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee for any reason at all. You get a complete license to the Get Traffic feature. That's a $2,000 tool right there. You get a complete license to get leads. That's a $4,000 tool right there. There's guys that have paid $4,000 and more just for the get leads portion right there. You get a complete license to the Postmaster tool. That's a $2,000 tool right there. Get complete license to Siphon competition tool. That's $1,000. You get complete license to AdForge. That's $500. You get complete license to Auction Pro. That's $1,000. You get a complete license to the very cool excavator tool. That's $2,000 right there. And you get a complete license to the Middleman Accelerator. It's a $2,000 tool right there, and one that you can use right now and have a business day selling stuff as a middleman. Very, very awesome tool. So again, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee, a complete Orion license with 8 built-in cash generators. You get Jumpstart training to 5,000 in 30 days, private access sites and videos valued at $3 grand. You get Q&A coaching calls valued at $2 grand, and you get your own one-on-one personal analysis and support. So we find that all of you have basically different goals and businesses and so forth. You can contact us, tell us a bit about your business, and one of us will write back to you with a complete analysis of how we think the Orion tool can best benefit you, like which of the tools inside of it we think you should use, and how and why, and how to best go about that right there. This can make a world of difference right here. That's a $500 value right there. You also get $4,500 in bonuses. This includes coupon and affiliate marketing training, how to make money with CPA offers, and more. Stuff that we haven't even gotten into right now that can make a fortune. We have tons and tons of additional training and tools that you get for free. And again, you also get the opportunity to sell Orion yourself, which is absolutely priceless. So the total value, if you added up everything, is actually $1 billion. All jokes aside, the total value is over $30,000. And guys, as a special bonus, you can get a complete course on how to start your traffic brokering business. This is how to start your high-paying traffic broker business. You can get the exact same PowerPoint presentation that got us a $10,000 a month client. You can see exactly the exact pitch we gave them, exactly what we did, how we found them, and why. As a special bonus too, you get all of our prior middleman training. You'll get exclusive training on how to profit from being a middleman. Others have paid hundreds. You get this for free. You can look over my shoulders as I show the entire process of making middleman deals. Special bonus 3, you get our referral cashback program. With this, if you refer 2 people, you get to keep Orion for free. You get 100% of your investment back simply by referring 2 others to Orion. And there's, again, tons of places out there that obviously can benefit from the Orion software. So here's an email that partner and I got, and I want to share this with you because I think it's really important. This guy initially made not a single penny off for months, and he initially was very, very angry and blamed us. And I said, well, before you blame us and before you blame the tool, let's take advantage of the free one-on-one consultation so we can see what the problem might be. So he reluctantly agreed to that. And after going back and forth, we basically realized it wasn't the tool. It was the fact that the market that he was, or the market or the service that he was, trying to sell, there wasn't a market for it. People didn't want what he was selling, but it was comparable enough to another, service that tons of people wanted with a huge, huge market where he could just tweak his offer just a bit and have a related service that would sell a ton. Well, he agreed to do exactly what we said, and here's what he said. Well, what can I say? After swapping a few emails with one of the generated leads, I have just secured a $20,000. I also generated many other leads that will also bear fruit. Incredible. I now realize I have a tap that I can turn on and off at will. Fantastic. Great work, guys. Thanks, Alan Jessen. So a guy that goes from being really angry to really happy simply by listening to our advice and our trainings of going to where the hungry market is. So that made us think of the $20,000 challenge. So here's the deal with that. When, after using our software and taking our training, you've made $20,000 and are willing to give us a testimonial after verification, we'll give you 100% back what you have invested in Orion. We want you to be our next success story here. So again, at any point in time in the next couple years, if you've used our software and have made $20,000 or more and are willing to let us use that as a case study, we'll give you your entire for free, just as a way of saying, hey, thanks for sharing your story so we can share us with other people too. Now again, at any point in 30 days, you can get 100% of your investment back. But at any point in the next couple years, if you make 20 grand or more, we'll give that back just as a thank you. So again, for 30 days, any reason whatsoever, you can get your money back. It's completely safe. Now, normally, Orion sells for a yearly license. Okay, normally we've sold it in the past for $4,000 for the first year, plus an additional $1,000 to $2,000 per year after that, because it's completely worth it. It takes a ton of money and time to update it, and you see it's 8 tools in one, guys. It's incredibly powerful stuff, and it flies off the shelves at that price because nowhere else can you get free traffic like you can with the tool right here. You'd have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to get comparable advertising to what you can get for free with this. But because you're here right now, we're going to give you guys a special deal. You can get Orion right now to get unlimited traffic, leads, and exposure for life, for a lifetime license, not a yearly license. For the next 15 people, basically order right now, you'll get a lifetime license for our entire cash profit system. And to do that, you have to go to poweroforion.com/deal. As long as the payment link is still on that page right there, the deal is still on for the lifetime license. If not, it will go back to actually costing more just for year one plus $1,000 a year after. But if you get this deal now, you spend even less for, again, a lifetime license. So instead of $4,000 the first year, you get the whole thing for less than $3,000, and you don't have to pay any $997 paid in full one time to save $600, or you can get in at the monthly payment of 6 monthly payments of $597. So again, $597 gets you in. Both of those, again, have a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's 100% risk-free for any reason at all. Simply email us, ask for a full refund, and we'll happily do so. But again, guys, if you follow our training, if you take advantage of our help, if you email us for a free one-on-one analysis, I know you can get there, and I know you can do well with us. So again, you want to go to poweroforion.com/deal. It's just 8 tools in one, guys. Literally, one of those tools alone I've sold in the past for $4,000 that you get included, again, in all of these, the entire set, for less than $3,000. Or again, you can get in for just $597 through payment plan. And again, both those have a 30-day money-back guarantee. In fact, if you try it out for 1 month and don't like it, if you don't make your money back or don't think you've gotten tons of traffic and leads off it, you can keep all that traffic, all that leads, all that for free, just for me wasting your time. So that's how powerful this offer is right here. Again, you want to go to poweroforion.com/deal. And just as a side note, this is a desktop tool, and it works on both Macs and PCs. So as long as you have pretty much any computer out there, this will work for you. It has a Mac as well as a PC version of it. Very, very powerful stuff. And again, we constantly update this tool, and all those updates are for free. If there's new features we had, new updates when we fix stuff, again, all that is free. And again, we have 24/7 support that will typically always get back to you in a day, or takes like weeks to write back. When you write us, we'll get back to you within 1 business day or less. Typically, it's within a couple hours as long as we're awake. But very good, top-notch support right there. It's not like an overseas guy that doesn't know what they're doing, that can't speak English. It's all U.S.-based support right here by local trained guys that have been with me for years. So again, it's poweroforion.com/deal. And again, it's just for the next 15 people that do it right now. And again, those licenses will fly off the shelves, guys, because again, this really is an very awesome deal. I see several of you have signed up already. I want to thank you. So again, right now, we're actually down to just 11 licenses left. So again, just 11 licenses left to get the lifetime license deal right there. If there's any questions that you've seen that you've seen over and over again, feel free to shout those out, and we can take some time to answer questions that people might have on this.
Okay, great job, Brian. A lot of excited people out there jumping in on this, and there were a couple of questions. One thing I want to mention, because I was answering questions and not sure if you did, is people wanting to know, how fast do they get? Are they going to get access? And the answer is you're going to get access immediately to the software and all of the training. So you don't have to wait till next week. You don't have to wait. There's no waiting. This is the internet. You get instant access to download and use the software. As Brian mentioned, works on PC, works on Mac. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to sign up. You're going to get the software instantly. The women are going to read the directions. The men are going to start using the software, because that's what we do. We don't bother to read directions. It's why we get lost even with the GPS. The software, because it's fun. But to also actually go through and watch all the training tutorials and everything else, because they're going to give you a ton of information. Not just how to push the buttons in the software, but how to get the most use out of the tools, how to generate the right leads, how to make the right sales, how to make the right deals. All of that is gone through in exacting detail in all of the training. There's a lot of training in there, both in how to use each of the tools inside of Orion, all the 8 tools, as well as specifically how to use these different techniques that Brian touched on in the webinar to turn them into money. The other thing is, as Brian mentioned, you get the consultation, and so, You can use the consultation whenever you're ready, and we encourage you to use it soon because it's going to get you off to a really fast-running start using Orion, and that's why we built that into this. But what we really want to get the most out of that, if you go through the training tutorials first, of course, right away and just start getting a little bit familiar, that's going to help give you, a better conversation in the consultation so that you can go further with everything more quickly. And so, Brian, there's 4 questions. If you want to note them down, and then, because I know we have an echo going today between us, then you can answer them for people and explain. Okay, so first question is, we have somebody who is French from France who wants to know about getting French results in France with this, and we need to answer that. Second, somebody want to know about getting outsourcers because they have an outsourcers using this and how that would work. The third question is, in a local market, how does somebody, what is tool or what part of it does somebody use to generate local leads, like somebody that's looking for a roofer service or looking to buy a car or those kind of things? And then the fourth question is, we actually have, believe it or not, 2 different dentists on this, hundreds of people, so, and both asking, how this can specifically, help them in their practice to promote their dental business, and one of the people also has helps people with resolving headache issues that they have, like chronic headaches. And so if you can address those 4 issues, I'll go back to typing answers and questions.
Alrighty then. So I'll try. I think I recall them, but just as a side note, guys, there's only 8 licenses left right now, and that's again continuing to count down. But to answer the, I believe it was the first or second one, as far as if you're in like a local market, you can still use this on a local scale. For instance, with Get Leads, we have an advanced feature where you can pinpoint it down to a specific location if you want. Now, obviously, a global scale, you can certainly do so. On the keyword tools, the ones where you find places to post on, you can type in a localized keyword and do the exact same trick there. So many of the tools you can certainly do on a local basis right there. So again, that is not a problem at all. Let's see what some of the other questions were. I drew a blank on what the third one was, Sean, as I thought of the answers.
How do I find people in local markets, like a car buyer, somebody who needs a roofer, those kind of things?
Yep, and that's the actual answer I gave there. So you can go on the Get Leads, and you can pick a localized place, and you can search for just buyers there. Like if you want to buy a city or town, you can do so through the advanced feature right there. So what was the next one?
How they work with outsourcers.
All right, so with that, you certainly can use this with outsourcers. That's perfectly fine. For instance, my favorite one to use with outsources, or my favorite feature, is the middleman accelerator, where you can bid all day long on these freelance sites. By let's say once you find a guy on Fiverr that does a task for $5, you can find all these freelance bids and stuff that match up with what your new service is, and you can basically tell the outsource guy that hey, I want you to find anyone willing to pay $100 or more for a logo and make a bid. And they're looking to bid for half that price. If they're looking to spend $200, don't go lower than $100, and their only task can be bidding that all day long. Now, it's not like that will take a ton of time, but I mean, if you want to, you can make hundreds of bids in a day if you really want. And it might be a couple hours of time right there, but that can be a lot of dough right there. But it's the perfect kind of task that you can outsource that on. All right, let's see what else there is.
Okay, Brian.
Yep.
And then the question was specifically about the dentist.
with how to find dentists or find leads?
No. If you're a dentist, how to use this to market and build your practice. Promote your dental
Oh,
business.
sure. All right. So in that case, yeah, in that case, stuff like that guy's like, but just give like a brief example here. Like you could use the get leads, you could use the social search feature of that to find guys in your local area that are complaining about a toothache or complaining about maybe how expensive it might be to fix their teeth or all sorts of stuff right there. So right there you can find leads. You can also use the get traffic feature and you can target localized keywords that you can post on. So you can find all the sites you can post on the local scale, and you can do a post as basically the dentist and help all the people that are asking questions, or find all the sites on the local scale that you can post on there. You can also use the excavator tool to go to sites where we can pull up leads in local places. You can also use the Ad Forge tool to create like a dentist ad that you can post on a classified site. Maybe like let's say you do let's say you have a special offer where you do, I don't know, maybe free teeth whitening if you're a new client, or some deal like that. That's the kind of deal that could get you a lot of clients that you could throw up on a classified site and get a lot of new sales that way as well. But that's one where we could basically go on for at least like an hour or so with all the cool, clever ways you could use this in that. So that's one where after you purchase, you simply write our support, tell us a bit about yourself, ask for the one-on-one analysis, and they'll give you a breakdown of every feature and how you can use each and every one of those for your specific task or business right there. But that can work really, really great there as well. All right, let's see here. All right. All right. So, and as a side note too, so once you purchase the software, you should within a minute automatically receive an email with all that info. In case you don't, make sure you check spam. But in case it's not there, we automatically by hand send out a welcome email too, just in case. So within basically a couple hours by hand, we send those out as well. But you can also write support@getorion.com, and I'll actually write that out in the little chat here. If there's any issues at all, you can again go to support@getorion.com, and they can help you there. So again, by hand, we'll send those out as well, just in case too. That's something we've always done, because there's always a handful of people that for whatever reason the email will work in like French or Spanish. So some of the tools you can do a search in any language that you want, but it's basically designed specifically for essentially the English market. But you certainly can, like the get leads and get traffic one. You can do non English terms. The excavator tool you can as well, but the support and all that is obviously done essentially in English there. Okay. Yep, and this is a super simple tool to use, and we have full support to back that all up too. All right, guys, and just as a side note, there's only just a handful. You want to grab that again right now, and again, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee right there. Because again, we haven't offered this software in a long time, so again, you want to jump on board right now if you want to take advantage of that there. And again, if there's if you have any issues at all, like if you don't get welcome email, or you're having an issue with like a credit card, you can write support@getorion.com, which is in the chat right there. Again, support@getorion.com. Sean, do you see any questions that you see essentially popping up a lot? Oh, I think you muted.
I think that we've answered pretty much everything from all the questions I've saw. So, but if you have a question that didn't get answered, no exaggeration, and so this Q&A box is jam full of questions, and I've tried to type answers and get Brian to answer stuff that has popped up more than once. But if we miss something or you asked something earlier on and I said, hey, we've got to answer that later and ask Brian because I didn't know the correct answer or it required a longer explanation than I had time to type, then go ahead and put that in the question and answer box so we can get your questions answered if you have them, and you can get everything and get your order completed here today. Don't be shy if you do actually have a question. We're here to answer them live. So this is a good time to ask it. And if you don't have any questions, great, and welcome to the program, and glad you're in, and you're absolutely going to love this. Again, you'll get access pretty quickly, and we'll get going. Yeah, Brian, this question, this actually came up, and I chatted with one guy a little bit about it. Somebody, a couple of people have asked, how would you generate leads, like for MLM programs like an Empower Network or something like that, how they would use that to generate the leads and find people that would be interested in joining programs like that. Can you address that for them, please?
Sure. In fact, it can work absolutely great there, and there's multiple different features, of the tool that can work well, for basically the MLM area. So first, you can use Get Leads, find leads people that are maybe interested in work or what basically the MLM might be selling. You can also, this is the one niche where if you look for sellers, they're oftentimes also the buyers. So if you look for, sellers of MLM, they're oftentimes guys that you can, convince to join into yours or do like a JV deal with and so forth. So that can work well just on the Get Leads. Now, as far as the Get Traffic goes, this is where it gets really awesome. You can find, all the keywords related to your MLM headers, your post to your site or your email or your offer show up on all these sites that are ranked. Where if someone's saying, hey, what's a good what's a good MLM to join, you can post there saying reasons why your one is the best right there and how they can contact you for more questions or join in. I mean, you can dominate with that. You can also rank for the competitors, okay, and get free exposure there too. And then you can turn around and use the excavator tool. You can join maybe a forum that talks all about MLM. You can highlight the entire forum and pull up leads off of that of everyone that's interested in MLM and see the context in which they're basically giving you their emails. And that's just, 3 of the features, right there. I mean, really, I could go on for at least an hour or two about how you could use this in that niche, but really, really big opportunities right there, and analysis will help you a ton with that too. All right, let's see here. And yes, this does work on a Mac as well as a PC.
Okay, Brian.
And yes, and right here, guys, as long as the payment link is up on that site, you can get the lifetime license. There's only a handful of licenses left. So again, you want to go to poweroforion.com/deal. As long as you can buy on that site, you can get the lifetime license. What's that, Sean, you're saying?
Oscar was asking, because he's Spanish-speaking, and we were talking about doing this in other languages like Spanish, is if he needs Spanish-speaking support or Spanish writing support, probably, do we have somebody, because I'm not sure about the support personnel on the Orion end, that can help him out?
So he's essentially asking, we don't have Spanish support. It's all essentially English, but there are a handful of features inside Orion that you could search for Spanish words on, and our guys can help you with that part too. All right. And again, we have lots of training available, including the free one-on-one analysis and free 24/7 support as well right there.
Brian?
Yep.
you need to do the giveaway for the people that did the referral.
Ah, you are right.
For the people that did the referral.
You are right. Okay. So, all right. My screen first. There's only a handful of licenses left. I just need to look up the referral amounts, or not the amounts, look up the guys that entered in the contest, and we'll do the random drawing for the $100 Amazon gift card. All right. In the meantime, Sean, if there's any questions you see, feel free to answer them as I look this up.
Okay, yeah, if there's any other questions got in popped, I mean, what Brian's doing right now is many of you took advantage of the opportunity to post about this webinar, and which we appreciate, online, and Brian's just randomly picking the winner, and so we can announce that because someone reminded us we forgot to do that a little bit sooner, but we're doing it right now, and Brian will have that winner in just a minute and tell you how to contact our team and get your prize. So we appreciate that. Again, any other questions? We've got a lot of you who have joined, and we appreciate that, and we can't wait to have you guys get started using this. And I know a couple people have already posted up. They've downloaded the software, and they're already playing, and it actually works. And I know. I say that tongue in cheek because a lot of times, you guys, you've been in the internet marketing world for a while. You get a little jaded. Some stuff seems to work when somebody demos it and then doesn't work whenever you get it. It's not that way. Brian and I have been doing this a long, long time. I mean, I've been selling actively online for 14 years, Brian for more than a decade. The head of our support team has been running my support since before Brian graduated college. That's how long we've been, fortunately, how young Brian is, being only 30, not an old man like me. So we've been doing this a long time, going to be there for you, going to be supporting you as part of all this effort. You've seen some of the examples of what prior customers have been able to do with kind of lead tools that Brian and our crack programming team have created, and you're going to absolutely love what this does because, as someone mentioned, boy, it looked really easy to use. I hope it's that easy to use. It's that easy to use. That's why we demo these tools live. That's why we can do this stuff live on a webinar, and we do it because we want you to understand how that the power is in the software. Yes, you can do all this manually if you have an unlimited amount of time. Okay, but for the rest of us who actually want to get stuff done very quickly and use the power of software to leverage and shortcut our efforts and get great results, that's why. You ready, Brian?
All right, and we have the winner. I did a random number generated based upon essentially the order in which people submitted their names, and winner is Tom Rivas. So Tom Rivas, if you're on the call, just say a quick, yes, and then just write prize at webfire.com with the subject line prize winner. And obviously give your name and your email and all that stuff, and we will get in touch with you. So Tom Rivas, if you're on this call, you are the winner of the $100 Amazon gift card. So congratulations on that. And again, guys, there's only just a few licenses left yet. I haven't updated the slide yet to reflect that, but again, there's only just a few left. So if you want to take advantage of that, you need to jump on that right now. I'm letting you jump on that right now, take advantage of that deal to, poweroforion.com/deal. And again, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, so the risk is entirely on us right there. There's absolutely no risk at all for you to jump on board. So again, poweroforion.com/deal. If you have any problems at all, again, just write support@getorion.com, and again, it's in the chat box, support@getorion.com, and they'll get back to you very, very soon. So Again, guys, I want to thank you for joining us on this call, and I look forward to working with those of you that just joined up. And again, make sure you take advantage of the one-on-one analysis because that can make a world of difference for you. So again, thanks again for being on this call, and I look forward to working with those that join. And again, you jump on board right now at poweroforion.com/deal. So thanks again, and talk to you soon.